Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports, and I'm once again on this side of the table for some reason.
You're in the hot seat, right? Listen, I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time. And that used to be my motto in high school, you know, and as we pick the girls up for our dates. And but no, Amy's got a great day planned. I'm excited to hear, you know, from some other racers. You know, Cruz Labree's coming on the show. A young man, I believe he's only 13 years old, raced over to Bartlett Bridge Raceway, the place that Eddie built, so to speak. Eddie and Bill's place over there in Lyman, Maine. Done a great job with the go-karts. Him and his family really embrace the whole idea of the racing concept and how to do it as a family. So really anxious to hear what he has to say about his 2 years of racing and his future plans. And then Ben Crowder, a guy that's been around racing. You know, when you think of, you know, like Thursday Thunder and all that, you don't realize how long it's been around, those midweek programs. And Ben's been around a lot of places and been a guy that's been racing a long time. So really anxious to hear what he has to say about his racing career, his 2018 season. And I'm curious if he's going to touch on that, the last night of Thursday Thunder in 2018, where, you know, I'm sure looking back, he knows he made the wrong decision at the time to kind of force the issue and go for that win. But hey, I shouldn't say we've all been there, but for anybody that's been there and been in that situation and checkered flags right there and you think you got an open in and you want to win that race, you know, sometimes you make those decisions that aren't, in the end, the best ones to be made. But oh well, but no, anxious to hear what they have to say. Good job by you. We still got some other people interested in coming on as we get ready for 2019, which is kicking off very soon. The Pro All-Star Series. A lot of our friends from up here in the Northeast will be heading south to go down to Richmond, compete on the 3/4 mile tri-oval at Richmond, Virginia. You know, the Cup cars compete there. Indy cars have competed there in the past. So pretty big deal for them to kick off their season. And we're really getting ready for our kickoff as we get ready to roll into Bentley's.
Yeah, I'm excited. Bentley's is, like you said, a great way to kick off the season. Richmond, like you said, Richmond also, too. I think a good thing to note about that is mini stocks are going down to Richmond, and there are a couple drivers from the New England area as well that have mini stocks that are going to go down for that big race there. So that's another, you know, class of drivers that are going. But yeah, Bentley's. I'm excited about that one.
April 25th, once again, Mainly Motorsports will be having their preseason kickoff to the 2019 race season at Bentley's. We have a great time. It's, you know, they don't even officially open until the next night, so they give us the floor, give us the reins. We get a DJ there, and we just have a great time with it all, and give away some prizes, give away. In the past, we've given away some money. Maybe we will, maybe we won't this year, but just an opportunity for the racer to get together and mingle.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I feel like it's a lot of things like wrapped into one. Like Main Vintage is a part of it as well. It'll be cool seeing because that's a little step closer to race season. So there's going to be even more cars that are, you know, going to be ready that weren't ready, you know, let's say for Augusta and Portland that are going to be there. Great entertainment, like you said, and, you know, people just dancing, you know, drinking, having food, having a good time. And like you said, you make sure to make it fun.
Yeah, and it won't be the all eras car show. I just don't want people to think they're going to come there and see 60 cars. But we will have a few cars on display, just kind of give you that race theme and, you know, which gets us ready, gets them ready. And then 6 weeks later, we do the all eras car show.
Oh, yeah, Main Vintage is the all eras, right?
You know what I mean? So, but this one, the traditional Mainly Motorsports night at Bentley's, I'd love to see Bentley around. He's never gets back early enough, and but maybe this year we'll be lucky enough, and he'll get back early enough and make an appearance. And obviously Lisa's there, and Bruce, and the entire staff. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited. That was one of my moments last year where I just kind of felt really kind of involved in everything. So that was fun.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a chance to meet people, meet new people, and we send the invite out to everybody. So April 25th from 5 to 10, 5 to 9:30. Show up when you can, leave when you want to. Right there, Bentley Saloon, 1601 Portland Road in Arundel, right next to Arundel Ford, right next door to one of our big supporters on the show, Weir's GMC, Fisher Snowplow dealer, probably the biggest dealer, one of the biggest dealers in the state for Fisher Snowplows. And, you know, which we got a lot going on with Bentleys this year. You got our kickoff night.
Yep.
We got the All Airs Car Show. And then in July, Super Shoe. Corey LaJoy will be making an appearance with Team 32, Go Fast Racing. Archie, spent some time with Archie this past weekend. We're gonna really hype that up and promote that and give people the opportunity to come down and be a part and be there and see the Go Fast Racing number 32 and meet Corey LaJoy.
Yeah, it's like you said, really exciting summer coming up. A lot of involvement, like you said, with Bentleys, which is always a good time. Never not a good time. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too. Everyone else is. So it's, like I said, race season is right around the corner now.
No, and we're getting excited. We've got a lot of good things happening. I think Wiscasset, traditionally up here in Maine, kicks off. I know Beechridge getting an early start this year. Oxford's a few weeks away with the Pro All-Star Series. So race season's coming. We got a lot going on with our Dream Ride Racing program. Going to touch more on that in the upcoming weeks. Looking forward to meeting more drivers. Going to travel out. Going to stop down and see Bobby Weber Jr. and his team down at their race shop. Talk about their season that's already kicked off with a win with Justin Bonsignor and the TQ Midget. They're headed to Richmond. He's got a big year, not only off the track with what he does at Star Speedway, but on the track with what he does with his team and his drivers. Bobby Cabral, Brian Kruzak, Matt Swanson this year in his 350 Super. So a lot of good things happening there. Lee USA Speedway, all that they got going on with not only Lee now, but Monadnock, Claremont, Speedway 95. I mean, it's here. We already touched on Bartlett Bridge. Richmond will be opening up around the corner. So the new regime at White Mountain Motorsports Park, Thunder Road, all of it. I mean, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready to, like I said, Thunder Road's on the schedule. I've never been there. I've never been to White Mountain. That's on the schedule. So I'm just looking forward to seeing new places this summer.
Well, you ready to take the ball and road another here? Because the rest of the show's you. I'm out of here. I've been here for my good time. Now it's you. You're going to do Cruz Labrie, hear what he has to say about it all, and then Ben Crowder. So hope you guys all enjoy this week's episode. And great job by Amy and what she's done the last few weeks. I'm like making her take the reins. She's steering the wagon. You know what I mean?
I'm enjoying steering the wagon. So
I'm going to start calling you Skipper, and I'm going to be Gilligan. Even though our build is the other way.
You're funny.
All right. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. And Amy is steering the wagon.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of eKeys for Cars of Saco. At eKeys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, eKeys for Cars will come to you. Call eKeys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
Mainely Motorsports, brought to you by LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham. Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at wiscassetspeedway.com.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and we're here now with Cruz Labrie, who is a karting driver, which we haven't had too many of this winter. You're only 13 too, which is incredible. You have a couple years of racing under your belt, and here you are making moves in your career now. So we know you from the past few years of racing at Bartlett Bridge over in Lyman, Waterboro area, which you've had success in. So Can you talk to us a little bit about how you got into racing in the first place? Because you are one of those people where we see a lot of karting people that come from families of drivers, whereas you are not from a family of drivers. So what was your experience like getting into go-karts, and how did it feel racing at Bartlett Bridge?
Well, first, thanks for having me on the show. And also, at first it was a little intimidating starting off because all these kids, they all have like racing backgrounds, and we're here, we don't know anything. But I had my 9th birthday party at Main Indoor Karting, and we found out there that they offer the winter leagues to go and race. So we decided to go and try that out, and my dad had been talking to all the other kids' parents who go and race at Bartlett Bridge Raceway, and they were just talking about how they think I should go and race, and from there we looked into it and decided that we wanted to do it.
And what was it like racing on dirt and getting out there like that first time over at Bartlett? Because it is a little bit different from, main indoor karting where it's inside, and now you're out here, there's, dirt flinging everywhere, and you're out there competing against, like you said, kids from different backgrounds. So how did it feel? Was it kind of intimidating as well, learning experience for you that first time you got in that cart on the track?
It was very intimidating because I don't remember what that race was like, but I remember just the feeling of being there. The only person I knew was actually my friend who was starting racing at Bartlett that year as well. So I didn't know anybody. I was like all caved in, like in the trailer, and in the go-kart. I had no idea what I was doing. At one point, I'm like, what am I doing out here? I don't know anything. And but it was exciting at the same time because it's like it was my first step into starting my racing career, and that's when I really found out like I really like this and I really enjoy this, and yeah.
And that's always important too. So like from your early days of racing, like so far, what are some of your favorite memories that you have?
Well, of course, getting to know all the people and getting to meet all these new people and all the friends I've made. Definitely winning victories, that's always special. But really, I've learned a lot at the track through like responsibility and respect. And that's very important in life, also in racing, but really in life. So racing isn't just going out there and driving in circles on a dirt track, but it's more of, it can teach you a lot about life at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing too that's special about racing, whether you look at drivers from like Beach Ridge or drivers from like different places like Maine and their karting. One thing that's cool is that when you guys get out of the cars too, you will still like shake each other's hands, be hanging out with each other after the race. So it's like when the helmets are on, everyone's competitive. But when you get off the track, like everyone's there for each other and has each other's back, which I find really cool about racing.
Yeah, I really like that part because it's honestly, on the track you're all one team, but when you're off the track it feels like you're all one team.
Definitely. And then on the other aspect of that, what are some of the things that you find most challenging about being behind the wheel of a cart?
Well, just trying to keep your calm. I've had a lot of races where some people have made dirty moves on me, or I've made a move that I wasn't really proud about, and it gets to you, but you still have like, you're only halfway through the race, and you just got to keep calm and like stay focused and stuff, and try to pay attention to what's going on around you. And then also it's like timing. A lot of racing is like timing and stuff, and so that's hard because like visibility sometimes in the night, especially on in dirt racing, your visor fogs up and everything.
Yep.
And it's hard to see, and so you don't know where you are, and then if you accidentally spin someone out, you feel bad, but you still gotta keep racing. So
it's kind of like self-discipline almost when you're on the track.
Yeah.
And then outside of the racing season, we talked a little bit about you like to do karting at Maine under karting in the winter, which you are like pretty competitive at. And then what do you do during the winter to kind of be prepared for the summer race season? And then we talked about it a little bit too. Like, do you play any sports outside of racing too, just besides karting?
Well, and I've definitely been competitive. I still do the winter leagues at Maine indoor karting. I do a lot. I have an Xbox like any other 13-year-old, but I have go on like the Forza games and the NASCAR games, and I just try to just get seat time and pretend it's like real life and try to act like I'm in a real race just to get that racing feeling back in, so you're not just sitting there in the winter on the couch eating potato chips. And I also run because it's racing. A lot of people, a lot of my friends at school, they're just like, all you do is go around in circles. You just drive, but it's actually a lot more than that. You have to be in shape to do it. You have to be strong. So I run a lot. I do a lot of cross country for the school, and as of now, I'm doing track for the school. So.
Yeah, I feel like definitely too, racing is a lot of people, there'll be the people that say oh, racing's not a sport, but there's so much of it, especially in the summer too, because that's when you guys race, where it's hot out, where you're just sweating so much, and you have to, keep up that endurance as well. So I think it's really cool that, like you said, that's very mature of you too, to, not just, kind of sit there in the winter months and, just kind of hang out. You actually live an active lifestyle during the off season.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we talked about your beginnings at Bartlett Bridge. I know that there are some changes coming for you in 2019. So I think this would be the perfect time to take a break, listen to some of our sponsors for the show here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about your experiences that you're going to be facing in 2019.
All right.
And we'll be right back with you on Mainly Motorsports.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order a copy of this show, send a check or money order for $15, including shipping and handling to Mainly Motorsports, 2 Main Street, Suite 17-103, Bedford, Maine, 04005. And please add the show number in the description of the show.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and we're still here with Cruz Labrie. And before the break, we talked a little bit about your beginnings in karting. And your experience at Bartlett Bridge. But there are some big changes, some exciting changes coming for you in 2019, where you're still going to be behind the wheels of a kart, but a very different kart in a very different division from Bartlett Bridge. So can you talk to us a little bit about the moves that you're making in 2019 and how they came about?
Well, I am gonna start racing in the NHKA, or New Hampshire Karting Association, which is a road course racing series. It's down in New Hampshire, obviously. I'll be racing at Loudon, Canaan, and X1, which is X1's down in Boston. And I'm super excited about that. I will be racing with DRT Racing Team. Excited to for that. But a lot of how I've started racing has revolved around Maine indoor karting. Me and another kid who races at the national level in road course racing, Evan Slater. He and I have been battling for the fastest time at Maine indoor karting. And one night we happened to be there at the same time, and his dad pulled me aside, both of us aside, and said, we're gonna go out there and race with him. And I beat him. And then his friend actually came, who also races nationally. And we did 2 more races with them, and I beat them both at the same time. And his dad was like, you gotta come up to Loudon, and you gotta just hop in Evan's cart and just see what it's like to go race road course. And so we did that, and I had the best experience of my life in racing. And so DRT Racing knew that I was coming, and they watched me, and they said, if you want to come on our team, go ahead, you can come on our team. So we've been working on that now, and I'm very excited for it.
And then what are some of the major differences for you? Because I know you're kind of used to like this kind of track, per se, from racing at Maine indoor karting, but it's on a lot larger scale than, this little indoor facility. And you're so used to, in the summers spending the summers at Bartlett Bridge, where, it's just an oval, it's a dirt oval. So what are some of the major differences for you as a driver racing on the 2 different styles of tracks?
Well, it's going to be very different because it's left and right turns instead of just going left. The speeds are going to be much higher than at Bartlett. At Bartlett, I was racing the L206 motor, and they have a class for the L206 motor in the road racing. So I'll stick with the 206 motor, so that won't be anything new, but just the driving style, the way you have to drive the track, the way you have to physically prepare for the driving, the setup for the cart, and all that's going to be very different. I'll also be racing with a team as well, and what I'm most excited about is they give the opportunity for coaching, so I'll be given coaching, so like driving coaching, but also like physically coaching, so they'll give me like exercises to do, and they'll give me a nutrition plan, and they'll even help me with like my social media and all that. So
yeah, so it's a little different because you'll have like a bigger team of people, there that are like, kind of like on your side. And, at the racetrack, you have like your family, like your dad and your mom and your family coming to support. But this is a little different where like this team almost becomes your family too.
Yeah.
And then there's also difference in the kind of carts too, because these are very different from like Bartlett Bridge, where like Bartlett Bridge you have like the roll cage and stuff, and this is like open face. It's very different too.
Yeah, it's open face, no seat belts. Anything that scares my mother is there. So.
And then what are you looking forward to most in 2019, and what are some of your major goals and kind of some things that you hope to learn over the course of the season?
My goal is just to have fun, because that's really what racing's all about, is to have fun. I also want to get more into like the mechanical side of it, learn more about like the cart setup and stuff, because I feel like as a driver it's going to help me a whole lot more if I know what's going on in the cart. So not only just like if there's a problem with the cart, I know what it is, but I can use that knowledge to maybe like try to get faster lap times and just drive the cart differently as well.
Yeah. And then we talked about this a little bit during the break too. You kind of have this mission as a driver to, you know, be a good person like on the track, but also off the track as well. And I know that there are some things that are important to you off the track that you kind of bring into your on-track life. So can you talk to us a little bit about like these charitable things that you did this past season and how you plan to continue to do them for seasons to come?
Well, this past season I had a fundraiser, well, donation for the Gorham Food Pantry, which is my local food pantry down at Bartlett. And it was actually a lot more successful than I thought it would be. We raised about $300 and over, I think it was like 500 pounds of food, so.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
We raised about $300 and over, I think it was like 500 pounds of food, so.
That's awesome. And like I said, it's really important, I feel like, to use your kind of like level that you have like as a driver, and you know, you're somebody that these people come out and watch every week, to use that for the greater good and to help your community as well.
Yeah, it definitely a lot of everybody, like with the food drive, they're all like, Cruz, you did so amazing with the food drive. But it wasn't just me, it was, well, my family. It was also everybody who contributed at the track, who donated food, and the Eddie Pettengale and Bartlett Bridge for letting me do it, for one. That was a big help. They did a great job at promoting the food drive. Yeah.
And speaking of Eddie, he was like a huge part of, you know, kind of helping you succeed when you first came to Bartlett, and, you know, kind of supporting you and your family when, like you said, you came in there with not as much knowledge as, you know, some people that have been involved in racing for years. So what did that mean for you, having them like have your back?
It meant a lot because just coming from nothing to now being here, it's been amazing. Bartlett Bridge and Eddie, they've been a big part of why I'm gonna be racing and why I'm still racing. Also, Walt Dearborn has been a huge part as well.
Yeah, and I feel like they're one of those families, like you said, Eddie does a great job of taking care of that track, but they're also like so welcoming. Like you said, you came from no racing background and did it. They're so encouraging to like families and like kids that just come out and try it and see how it goes. And like we were talking about in the break too, like you are a true example of someone that, you know, proved themselves in the racing world when you came from nothing, no background in the racing world. So that means that like you can come from no background and still make a career out of it.
Yeah, it was definitely challenging because like at first we had help from a good friend, Mike Parker. He was a huge help. He's another reason why we're racing and I'm here right now. But it was very challenging at first because I didn't know what I was doing. Like I said, I was like, why am I even out here? I don't know what I'm doing. And but they've all helped a ton. And it just goes to show it doesn't matter what skill level you're at or what your knowledge is, you can do it, and you can pretty much do anything.
And then we talked about a bit like throughout the segment too, besides like, you know, your sponsors and, you know, Eddie, your family's always there at the racetrack with you every weekend. So talk to us a little bit about your family and what their support means to you as you're like kind of like learning the ropes in the racing world.
Their support means a lot because when I come off the track, they're always there to support me. Even if I have a bad night, they're there to comfort me and cheer me up. And every time I come off the track, I hear something good. So it doesn't matter if it was bad or if it was a bad night or a good night. It was always something good because family matters most, and they're always there to support you. And I love them a lot. So it's always nice to have your family come out and friends too, down at Bartlett and hopefully down with racing road course.
Yeah. So it's definitely an exciting season coming up for you. So there are some exciting things too in the works for your team. So if people that are watching this, if they want to keep up with you and your racing adventures, how can they keep up with you on social media and kind of stay in tune with what's going on?
So we have a Facebook page at CLR number 10. We have big things coming up this summer with racing. If you want to know about that, again, follow our Facebook page at CLR number 10 because it's going to be very exciting.
And I feel like I follow it personally, and I feel like you guys do a really good job at like posting videos that are like great quality to like kind of keep people like, you know, interested in what you're doing with racing, but also, you know, keeping everyone updated all the time, whether it be the off season or during the season of what's going on. So I feel like you guys, you know, you're so young, but you guys already do a great job at marketing you as a driver.
Well, thank you. It's very important because a lot of my friends and a lot of family, they can't always like come out to the track and see what happens. And so it's a great way for them to see and say, hey, maybe Cruz won the race. That's pretty awesome. And the big announcements too, like, oh, I'm very happy for Cruz and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it'll be exciting to see what's coming up for you in 2019. And I wanted to thank you for being our first full-time karting driver to come on the show this winter.
Well, thank you for having me. And actually, I have a little gift hat right here. My racing hat, CLR hat. I'd like to give you this.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. I think this is a Debbie Dorr exclusive. So.
Yeah.
But thank you, and we're looking forward to seeing how you do in 2019.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with you with some more on Mainly Motorsports.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good. It's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle the factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's coworker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and thank you to Cruz for joining us. It's a really mature kid for being 13 years old and kart racing. And we're continuing our segments this winter with talking to drivers from different divisions, just kind of about how things have been going in their racing careers and stuff like that. So now I am joined with Ben Crowder, who races on Thursday nights at Beech Ridge. And this year you're going into your 20th year of racing.
That's right.
So talk to us a little bit about kind of the beginnings and where it led you to where you are now in racing.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, I grew up around racing. My father was a street stock driver. He raced at Wiscasset. We used to live in Wiscasset. I grew up playing with cars in the dirt there. I have memories of being like 2 years old and being in the pits with him at Wiscasset. Started out ice racing, so I raced cars on frozen lakes and rivers before I was old enough to go stock car racing. My mom made my dad promise that I wouldn't go stock car racing until I was 18. So as soon as I turned 18, we bought a car, and I started out racing in 2000 in the Wednesday night program at Oxford Plains, the acceleration series in the four-cylinder division that they called the Rebels. I still call them Rebels. I did that. I raced at Oxford for 6 years there. Had a fair amount of success, won a bunch of races, never won a championship. Decided I was going to try doing something a little different. Went and raced on Saturday night for a couple of years. I had a strictly stock that I raced at Oxford there. Didn't really like it. Didn't really do very much with it. Wasn't exactly my cup of tea. Took a couple of years off, and then in 2013 I came down to Beech Ridge because I was living closer to this area and started running Thursday nights there at Beech Ridge in the Beetlebug varsity division. So I had more experience, enough years to be in the varsity division right off the bat. So. Yeah.
And what are some of your biggest memories that you've had? Like, you said you've been involved so many different kinds of divisions of racing. Some of your favorite memories over the course of your racing career so far?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of big races, the Summer Series showdowns at Oxford, the Pass Open competition races at Beech Ridge, a lot of good opportunities. Probably my best memory and my worst memory all at the same time was, I think it was the 2004 Summer Series showdown at Oxford Plains. That's their big. They have, at that point in time, they had about 100 four-cylinder cars that would attempt to qualify for that. They do heat races for starting position. And with about 15 laps to go, I was in second place, and the leader overheated. And so I took the lead with 15 to go, and we had a caution. And then I overdrove the car going into turn one and lost the race. Ended up finishing second. So it was a big success to finish second out of the member cars, but it was really disappointing personally to kind of see that my own driving error had cost me the race at the end. So, but that was a lot of fun. I've had a good time racing across the state. I've raced at Wiscasset, Beech Ridge. I haven't been any further north. I was going to go to Spud Speedway this year, but the scheduling didn't work out. Raced down in New Hampshire, been to Canaan, I've been to Lee, Speedway 51. Well, it was Riverside at the time. So a bunch of places down there. Been to Oktoberfest, that was good. Always have a good time there. Really have enjoyed seeing a lot of different places, trying a lot of different tracks, but really the four-cylinder thing, that's kind of my deal. I think that's where I'm going to be going forward. So.
And that's the next question I was going to ask you too, is like now, obviously you've been competing at Beech Ridge the past couple of seasons. but you have raced, like you said, many different places. So do you have like a favorite track that you would like to return to, like if you had the opportunity?
I mean, or operationally, I love Beech Ridge. Physical plant-wise, I like the track at Oxford Plains better than the physical plant at Beech Ridge. The wall doesn't come at you quite as soon at Oxford. The straights are a little bit wider. You can get a little bit better steam up running down the straightaway than you can at Beech Ridge. But I like the organization of the show and the operational efficiency that they've got at Beech Ridge. That really works well. So I'm pretty happy there, quite honestly. I'm sure we'll go a couple places this year, try a few different things. Wiscasset's been doing some really great things down there this year, so we'll probably give that a shot. But definitely probably most satisfied at Beech Ridge.
And you've talked about it a little bit too, but what makes you like so attached to the type of racing that you're doing now opposed to, you know, getting behind a wheel of different kinds of vehicles?
Boy, a lot of different things. I mean, some of it is what you're familiar with. So what you're familiar with is always going to be the easiest thing for you to do, and I've been doing this version of that for a long time. 20 years of more or less working on the same type of car. I started out racing a Honda. I had a CRX, my very first race car. We'll have another CRX this year, so we've gone back to the basic roots. So beyond that, I like the challenge of trying to make them go. This is not a car that's designed to go around corners. It's not a car that's designed to turn left. It's a car that's designed to handle an everyday commuter ability. I mean, it's not even really designed to be a particularly fast car, and yet here it is, running probably the fastest lap times on Thursday night, other than the legend cars, that's not even the same boat. So I enjoy that challenge. I like the way that they handle. I feel comfortable with them, and you know, I enjoy tinkering on them.
Yeah, and like you said, continuing on that this season, and you know, you kind of got a new car new to you car that you're working on. So with that being said, maybe we'll take a break and we'll come back and maybe discuss this past season, some of the challenges of this past season, what you learned, and then plans for the future as well.
Sure, sounds great.
And then we'll be right back with you on Mainly Motorsports.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of E-Keys for Cars of Saco. At E-Keys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars will come to you. Call E-Keys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
E-Keys, they raise the bar. E-Keys for Cars.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and we're still here with Ben Crowder. And before the break, we talked a lot about your experiences over the years racing and, you know, where you're at right now. So with that being said, let's talk about last season a little bit, which you started out last season on a high note, winning the first race of the season. But you kind of had a challenging season a little bit last season. So talk to us a little bit about, you know, that first week and kind of how the season played out.
Yeah, last year there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows. We chased a lot of mechanical gremlins all season. And like you said, we started out the first week of the season. My racing partner, Ed Johnson, who's going to be my car owner this coming season, I'm going to drive for him. He and I started on the pole, on the outside pole, and I took the lead on the first lap and led the rest of that race. So on a rain-shortened program, that was a pretty good outcome to start off the year. Felt pretty good about everything. Car felt really good. Ed's car felt really good. I think he finished third. So, and then of course, my friend Chris, who worked a lot on his car, helped him throughout getting to where he's at now, and he does a hell of a job. He had a good night, so it was a great way to start the season for us. things kind of went a little downhill from there. Car still had a lot of potential. We still got, I think, 4 or 5 trophies throughout the course of the year, but had a lot of mechanical breakdowns. Ended up about halfway through the season that the motor got sick, and we were running on 3 cylinders instead of 4 cylinders for a good portion of the races, and that really doesn't get the job done. It might get you somewhere close to where you need to be, but it's certainly not going to get the job done. But the time to tear it back apart and figure out what's going on just wasn't really there, so we ran it the way that we had it. Ed and Chris continued to have a great year, so that was awesome. Help them see what they can do. It was Ed's first season in the Beetlebug division. He used to race the Mad Bombers, so he came to race with us, so to be able to help him get that done, that was awesome. But still, I mean, coming in towards the end of the season, we were still in the top 3 in points. We were doing pretty good. Ed and I weren't too far apart for 2nd and 3rd in points. He was beating me first season, lucky guy. Yes, that's right, I'm talking to you. And then things kind of came together. The last week of the season, the car was feeling really good, even with the 3 cylinders. And apparently the driver really wasn't feeling very good and kind of did some things that probably didn't pay off real well. So everybody has regrets in their racing career. That's certainly going to be on my list as what went down there. But, you know, we finished the year 3rd in points, which is good. It's my best points finish that I've ever had in now 20 years of racing. So, you know, it was kind of good momentum to head into the next season with. And beyond that, Chris won his first championship, which was just outstanding. So to be able to help him with that was really cool. So overall, 2019 was actually a really good year, even though it was really tough.
And then, like you said too, like the team aspect of it is huge. We even talked about that with Cruz a little bit too, is that, you know, you could not have like statistically like your best season, or, you know, have a season that you're just like kind of like played with issues, but at the end of the day, like, you are part of a team as well, like you guys especially. So there's like you, Ed, Chris, and at the end of the day, you're all working towards like basically the same goal. You all want to win races, want to win the championship, but helping each other towards that goal. So team aspect of it, especially with your team, it's huge.
Right. Yeah, I have a picture on my phone from about halfway through the season last year at Ed's house, with Ed's car in one bay of the garage and my car on the other side, and Chris's car out front, and another car that I was helping a guy build for Thursday night that he hasn't brought out yet sitting next to that. We're working on all 4 cars the same day just to try to get car count for our division, which is what's really important in the long run. So.
And I feel like that's one thing too in 2019. You hear that all the time, like car counts in different divisions. But with different drivers moving up, like we talked about, Chris is going to move into the division this year. And then we have Derek McKean moving up as well. Your division's going to grow. So what are you looking forward to? You're probably obviously looking forward to getting to like race against Chris. And
absolutely.
But that'll bring some more competition to your division.
Yeah, I think quite honestly, the 4-cylinder division has grown quite a lot in general. A couple of years ago, the car counts were really pretty poor. We had 3 or 4 varsity cars and maybe 5 or 6 junior varsity cars. Last year we had 15 junior varsity cars and I think 8 or 9 varsity cars on a regular basis. I expect there'll probably be about 10 or 12 of each, so we've like tripled the car counts in the past 2 years. So everybody in the division works real hard with that. Definitely looking forward to a new season. Got a new car. Going to go back to a CRX, back to the small car, back to what I started with, so that's in progress. So I'm really looking forward to see how that goes. I'm excited for the competition. Like you said, Chris will be coming to the division. Derek McKean will be coming to the division. We did lose Jeff Walker. Jeff was a great competitor, super fast, won a great championship last year, so we'll be sad to see him move on and his car move to another track. But you know, we're gonna have a really strong crowd, and it's going to be tough every week to try to earn victories. Anybody who gets a victory on a Thursday night in the varsity division is going to earn it, and that's for sure.
And like we talked about that too with Chris when he came on the show, he's like, you know, people see like Thursday night as like an amateur night, which, you know, it isn't as much money put into these cars as like, let's say Saturday night.
Right.
But
Definitely
he said like, these are like the hardest cars that like he has ever like driven. But like some people that race on Saturday nights will go back and reflect on Thursday nights and be like, you know what, looking back, that's actually harder than doing what I do now.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges in trying to make a car do something it was never designed for and doesn't particularly really want to do. So, absolutely.
And like you said, a lot of movements made in the off season, so it'll be interesting to see how things play out in 2019.
For sure.
And so maybe take another break, come back and talk to you a little bit about how your car's coming for the season and just about what's coming up, you know, thanking your sponsors and stuff like that. So we'll be right back with you here on Mainly Motorsports.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's coworker owners who understand the importance of protecting a valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and Ben Crowder's still here with us, wrapping things up. So before the break, we talked about your plans for the 2019 season. So now that leads us to, how's the car coming along?
The car is in a million little pieces all over the garage. The motor is apart, the transmission is apart, everything is out of the interior, scattered across the shop. So yeah, it's not, I guess it's coming because it's better than if it was still together waiting to come apart, but in that respect there's a lot to do and a short time to get there. So you keep working on it every day. It'll be ready before the season starts. It always is. Somehow manages to find its way back together every year.
And I think it's kind of crazy, like at this point now we're looking out to 3 weeks until race season starts for other divisions. Yours, you got a little bit longer to wait.
Right, yeah, the middle of June.
Yeah, so you've got a little more time. But there's some changes too because, so Ed Johnson, who we talked about, is the car owner for you this year. And you have, like I said, a new to you car. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, Ed bought a good starter car. It was competitive where it was racing, and I'm going to drive that car for him. But I like to know what I've got. I like to know what's underneath me. I like to be able to rely on it, and so I like to touch it with my own two hands and put it together myself. So we're going to go through everything, make sure it's maybe it'd be more mechanically reliable than last year, where I had a car that was kind of on its way out, pretty much in its last season, one way or the other. And so we're going to try to make sure that doesn't happen. So definitely be a new car, not something that's new to me. CRXs, I've had more CRXs than I can count. I've had a very fast CRX at Beach Ridge before, so we'll see if we can't do that again.
And then what are some of your major goals for 2019? I know everyone says to, you know, obviously to win races and championships, but what other personal goals do you have for yourself coming up this season?
Yeah, a few things. To be competitive is good, but to be reliable is better. I want to show up every week. I don't want to DNF any races. I don't want to lose points because the car broke or because the driver did something foolish. And you know, so I want to be there in the same way, in the same condition every week. And everything else that comes will come or not come as it comes to me. I have the patience this year to just play things out. So obviously, yeah, I want to win a points championship. I've been racing for 20 years now. I've never won a points championship, but everybody says that every year. Obviously, that's everybody's goal at the beginning of the season, is to go out and win a championship. I'm not going to push for that specifically. If it comes, great. If it doesn't, I just want to be consistent every week. That's the big goal.
And I feel like with racing too, like you said, like consistency is key, because you can go out and win, you know, 3-4 races, but if you're not consistent in the other races that you race, you know, you might not be there at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the season too.
Absolutely. I did that 3 years ago. The first year I had the car that I finished last year. I won 3 races that season with really fast, but I also didn't finish 3 races. And in an 11 race season, that's not going to get the job done. So
yeah. And then we've talked a lot about your team, about Ed, about different people. But who are some of the people that you'd like to thank for, you know, for having your back throughout the course of your racing career? Family, friends, sponsors?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start out with my father. My father's the one that got me into stock car racing, or addicted, or responsible, or however you want to look at it. He's still racing, you know, he's still his thing. He comes every week with my kids to watch, so I got to thank him more than anything else. Without him, I never would have been involved in this sport. I never would have been competitive in this sport in the first place. Obviously, Ed, he's been a big help, you know, and bought the car this year, so that's going to be a new experience. My friend Matt Mishral from Piston, he helps me work on the car. Obviously, Chris Case, he's a great friend. You know, we're going to look forward to racing together with each other this year. Beyond that, I've had some great sponsors that have helped me out. I've got Bob's Custom Tire Grooming in Topsom. Bob Weymouth, the legend driver. He's an awesome guy. I love Bob. He knows a lot about cars. Does a lot of legend repairs. Also sells trailers at Interstate Trailer Sales. So he's been on the car for a few years. He does awesome work. We got Advantage Pest Control, which is in South Portland. That's Rich Varney's operation. Rich Varney is a great friend to racing. He sponsors a bunch of drivers. And he does really good work doing green pest control if you need help at your house. You know, he's going to do something that's environmentally friendly, so that'll work out for you. New sponsor this year for me is the Main Sales Company. That's an online and local retail merchant. They do draft solutions, they do crafts, they do things like that. They have a website at themainsalescompany.com. They also have an Amazon Prime account. And then I also carry a couple of charities on the car. The Maine DeMolay Association is a youth group. It's associated with Freemasonry. It teaches young men from 12 to 21 about good citizenship, comradeship, things like that, good values and principles. So they're going to be on the car. I was a DeMolay before I became a Mason. I'm a Mason now, so it's kind of a good thing for kids. And then I'm also taking on a charity ride with my motorcycle this summer. So we're going to do that. They're going to be on the car this year. It'll be the second annual Go Maine Ride for Diabetes. Everything that's raised goes right to the Diabetes Association. And that's something that's pretty near and dear to my heart because I have two parents that have had diabetes. So going to be going from Augusta to LA Harley, so they're sponsoring that event. So they're pretty cool. That's June 30th coming up this summer. So.
Yeah, and I feel like your team's great at doing that, and I feel like a lot of drivers, it's important to, you know, be a good person like off the track as well as, you know, trying to be the best driver you can be on the track because, you know, not everyone gets the...
It's true.
Gets the, like, let's say, like levity that you guys do on a stage every week. So it's important to use your craft for the greater good.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. I'll agree with that. Anything I can do to try to help is important. You know, I'm going to bring the cars to some events and show out for those organizations and try to support them and see what we can do. So.
Yeah. And then lastly, to wrap things up, how, if people watching this like want to keep up with you and your race season, how can they keep up with you on social media and other outlets?
Usually the best way would just be my own personal Facebook page. I don't have a team page, so to speak. We had a team page at one point with Kyle Gramlich and Shark Racing, but it's just kind of doing our own thing here. So just Ben Crowder on Facebook, that's where all the results are.
Yeah, and it'll be exciting to see how this car comes together in the next few months, and be exciting to see you know, how you do in 2019.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
And we'll see you all next week.
Bye now.